Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone of you are fine.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So we have already completed two protocols, RIP and EIGRP, and even redistribution. Does anyone having any kind of issue in those protocols? So please tell me. Anyone is having any kind of doubt, please feel free to share.
Sir, can we have another session in redistribution against OSPF and another protocols?
Yeah, actually, we do have redistribution, but not at the CCNA level. That we have to do in the CCNP level. There are,
CCNP level.
yeah, exactly, CCNP level, because we perform redistribution between RIP and OSPF, EIGRP and OSPF, but at the CCNP level, not at the CCNA level.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, my screen is visible to everyone. Please confirm me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start today's class. Just give me a second now. Okay, so anyone so every one of you okay with all of those stuff what we have covered already? Nobody wants to ask anything. Tell me. No one wants to ask anything. Okay, so that's good. So it means we have to start with new protocol today, which is OSPF. Okay, so now, as you all know, on the dynamic routing protocol, we have we categorize protocols in two parts. Under dynamic routing, we categorize protocol into two parts. One is IGP and one is EGP, like this. And in IGP, we have protocols such as RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, ISIS. And in EGP, we have a protocol known as BGP. So in IGP, we have already completed RIP and EIGRP. These two protocols have been finished, and even we have performed redistribution among them as well. Okay. So now today we are going to start with the new protocol, which is OSPF, which is very, very important protocol as per CCNA. If you have a look at for CCNA, as per CCNA, OSPF is very, very important. Okay, so make sure this. So let's start it now. OSPF. So OSPF, it stands for open shortest path first. Okay. Second is it is an IGP routing protocol. Next one. It is an open standard protocol. It is a link state routing protocol, which means LSA. We can say it's an LSA protocol. It uses an algorithm known as SPF, means shortest path first algorithm to find the best path between source to destination. Next point. Next point is your it uses cost as a metric. Cost means bandwidth. Means bandwidth. Its AD value is 110. Its IP protocol number. Its IP protocol number is 89. It supports unlimited routers. It supports unlimited routers. It uses multicast IP address 1.224.0.0.5 and B 224.0.0.6 like this. It is a layer 3 protocol. It is a layer 3 protocol. Next. Its hello timer. Its hello timer is 10 seconds. And hold down timer is 40 seconds. It sends triggered updates. Okay, so these are little points which we have to discuss one by one. Okay, so now let's start with the point number 1. Which type of routing protocol is OSPF? It is an IGP protocol. What does this mean? Tell me. Anyone can hear? AK, Abdul, Veer, Anu.
Interior gateway protocol, sir.
Interior gateway protocol.
That's the full form. I'm
Like
asking
it
what does it mean?
works. It works
Or
within
within the network,
organization.
within the company or within the organization.
Exactly. So what does IGP protocol means?
Works within the organization.
IGP means a protocol which works within the organization. Okay, now next point. It is an open standard protocol. What does it mean? It is an open standard protocol.
Like it works in all company.
It works, this protocol works in all vendor devices, not company, okay?
Okay.
Vendor devices such as Cisco, Juniper, Huawei, Aruba, like this. There are little examples of different vendors, which I'm just telling you right now. Okay, now next. Third point said it is an LSA routing protocol. We will have a discussion on this point. Okay, don't worry. We will discuss what does this LSA protocol means. Okay, leave this for right now. Next point is it uses an algorithm. What is the name of the algorithm? SPF algorithm to find the best path between source and destination. Okay, tell me which algorithm is used by RIP to determine the best path? Anyone remembers? RIP and EIGRP. Which algorithm does it use?
Bellman Fold.
Which one? RIP or EIGRP?
RIP.
Exactly. RIP is your Bellman
Fold and
Fold
EIGRP dual.
algorithm. What is the full form of dual?
Diffusing update.
Diffusing update algorithm. Diffusing update algorithm. And what is the name of OSPF algorithm? Algorithm using OSPF?
SPF.
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 Exactly. SPF stands for
Shortest
Shortest
path
path
first
first.
algorithm.
Shortest path first. Okay. Like this, we're gonna revise all of those previous protocols as well into this class. Okay. Now, so is anyone having any kind of doubt in this in these 3 points which you have just discussed right now? Everyone is clear? Okay, now next is. So the fourth point says it uses cost as a metric. And why we calculate what is the meaning of metric? What is the meaning of
Cal-
metric? Tell me.
To calculate the distance.
Distance.
Exactly. To calculate the distance. To calculate the distance between directly connected networks. Okay. Clear? Okay, now.
Yeah.
So tell me how we are gonna measure metric in case of RIP, EIGRP, and OSPF. How will we measure?
In RIP we use hop count.
Okay. EIGRP and OSPF. What about this?
In EIGRP K value
Composite value
or K value.
or K values. How many K values do we have by default? And what are the K values do we use? How
By
many K values
default,
by
five.
default?
Five, sir.
Exactly. 5 by default. And by default, which K values are used to calculate the metric?
1 and 3.
What is 1 and 3?
1 K 1 is equal
2
to
K
1.
values.
K1 and K3.
Yeah.
And as per Cisco recommendations,
2 and 4.
AK is K2 and K4. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we use K5 as well?
No.
No.
Not considered.
No.
Exactly. Never considers. Okay. And what is the and how we are going to calculate the metric in case of OSP? Using
Cost.
cost. Cost means
Bandwidth.
exactly bandwidth.
Bandwidth.
If you could remember, so we called EIGRP as a hybrid protocol. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or advanced
Routing protocol.
distance vector routing protocol. Okay, what is the meaning of hybrid?
Because it supports both protocols, RIP and OSPF.
It means that this protocol has a features of hybrid, means it is having a features of both RIP and EIGRP. It means that. C, bandwidth. What does K1 stands for? K1 stands for
Bandwidth.
exactly bandwidth. See, both things are common in this. Okay, now let's move on to the next point. Next point is its AD value is 110. Okay, so now tell me AD values of rest. What is the AD value for RIP,
120.
EIGRP?
120 and 90.
124 RIP.
Sorry, and it's OSPF. Yeah, RIP is 120,
120.
EIGRP
90.
90 for internal and 170 for external and 5 for summarization.
exactly. And what about OSPF?
110.
112, 110.
110. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So we are revising and comparing as well. Okay, so when you will revise all of those protocols, so there is no need to revise separately. Whenever you're gonna revise for OSPF, then you can comparatively revise this with RIP and EIGRP as well. Okay, now the next point. Its IP protocol number is 89. Okay, so now what is the protocol number? For protocol number for RIP, EIGRP, and OSPF. Tell me. Protocol number for RIP. What is the protocol number for RIP? Can anyone tell me?
No protocol number.
Then what do we have?
We have port
Port
number.
Exactly. We
Port
have.
number. Yeah.
We do have
Port number.
Port number.
So it means there is
No protocol
no
number.
protocol number for in case of RIP.
Yes. 502, 520.
520 is what?
Port number.
Exactly.
Port number.
And in case of EIGRP, what is the protocol number and OSPF as well?
88,
OSPF 89.
89.
Okay. And when we talk about port numbers, so port number in case of RIP is just a second now. Okay, yeah. So what is the port number for RIP?
520.
Is it TCP or UDP?
UDP 520.
That's good. UDP port number 520. Okay. And EIGRP port number? And OSPF?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Exactly. It doesn't have any.
Doesn't support here.
Yeah, it doesn't support. It doesn't have any port number. It's not like it
Doesn't
doesn't
have.
support. It doesn't have any. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So next one to next point, which is in case of OSPF, it supports how many routers?
Unlimited
Unlimited
routers.
routers. And when we compare this with RIP and EIGRP, what is the number?
For
RIP,
RIP, it
16,
supports 16 routers.
16 or 15?
15
16.
routers
Okay.
and EIGRP 255 and OSPF unlimited.
EIGRP is maximum
256.
and minimum is 100. Make sure this, okay?
Yes.
And OSPF is
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
unlimited. Exactly. It could support 5 routers as well, 500 as well, 5,000 as well. Clear? Now, next, move on to the next. Multicast IP address used by OSPF is 224.0.0.5 and 224.0.0.6. This multicast address 224.0.0.6, it has been used in the case of DR and BDR elections. Okay, so make sure this. Okay, what are DR and BDR elections? We will learn one day. Okay, so don't worry. No. So what about rest? Multicast IPs. What is the multicast IP for RIP?
Or
224.0.0.9.
224.0.0.9.
There are two versions, RIP version 1 and RIP version.
True.
Yes.
Exactly. So for RIP version 1, we have multicast IP addresses 225.225.225.255 with broadcast. And for RIP version 2, 224.0.0.9, like this. In case of EIGRP, our multicast IP address is 224.0.0.10.
10.
And when it comes to OSPF, it has two multicast IP address. One is 224.0.0.5 and another one is 224.0.0.6, like this. Clear?
Yeah.
No. Now, let's move on to the next one. So, the next point is, it is a layer 3 protocol. What is the name of layer 3?
Network layer.
The network layer. Okay, now. So it's just simple. You have to remember that at RIP, when we talk about RIP, it works on layer 7. EIGRP works on layer 3 and OSPF as well. It works on layer 3. Clear? Okay. Now, next, move on to the next. The last point is that its hello timer is 10 seconds and hold down timer is 40 seconds. Now we have to understand what does this. Just try to understand here. Let's suppose it's a router 1 connected to router 2 like this. And they are connected with your switches like that. Okay. And we have configured the IPs as well, like that. So tell me, if I enable OSPF, okay, make sure whenever we have enabled OSPF, we have to enable an area as well. Okay, so we'll discuss what are OSPF areas as well. Okay, so now I'm just writing OSPF area 0. A0 stands for area 0. Okay, so now, so the moment OSPF area 0 would be enabled on router 1, what it will do? It will generate a OSPF hello packet. Clear? Which packet?
Hello.
Hello packet.
OSPF hello packet. Because in EIGRP we also have an hello packet. Remember?
Yes.
Or just forgot?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
remember.
So there as well we have an hello packet. Now, the moment this OSPF hello packet would be generated, what will happen? It will straight away hand it over to layer 3 protocol. Hand it over to layer 3 handed over to now. What will happen to this OSPF hello packet? Okay, I'm just taking a new on a new slide. So this is my OSPF hello packet. Like this. And handed over to layer 3. What layer 3 will do? It will attach its header. Source IP 10.1. Destination IPS. Destination IP. Tell me.
30.1.
This one. 224.0.0.5. And your protocol number, which is 89.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Anyone is having any doubt in this? Tell me.
No, no, sir.
Okay, now this is your OSPF hello packet format. Now this hello packet would be generated and handed over to which router? Router 2. Will router 2 reply for this as or not?
No.
Then what will happen? What
After
will happen?
drop, it will drop the packet.
It will straight away drop the packet. Anyone else?
No, it will hold some time.
How much? That's what my question is. After 10 seconds, it will again generate a hello packet.
Yeah.
What happened? And hand it over to router 2 like this. Will router 2 reply for this?
No.
What will happen? It wait for 10
After
seconds.
the 10
If there
seconds,
is no reply, again generate an OSPF hello packet. Any reply till now? Any reply? Will router 2 reply?
no.
Exactly no. What will happen? Again generate an OSPF hello. Now wait for 10 seconds. Will router 2 reply for this? Will router 2
No.
reply? Exactly no. What will happen after this? After this hello packet would be
Drop.
dropped. Exactly. Because if you will count the seconds 10, 20, 30,
40.
40. And what is the hold on timer? Do we have here
40.
is
40
40
seconds.
seconds.
exactly the 40 seconds. It will wait for 40 seconds. After 40 seconds, it will drop the
Drop the
Drop.
packet.
clear.
Yeah.
Any issues?
No.
Okay. No, nice. Next, we're gonna look at how OSPF is gonna calculate the metric. How the metric will be calculated by OSPF. Okay, so the formula for metric is reference bandwidth upon interface bandwidth. Reference bandwidth upon interface bandwidth. And make sure reference bandwidth is always 100 Mbps by default. However, this can be manipulated. That's not a big deal. But by default, reference bandwidth is always a 100 Mbps. And for interface bandwidth, we will now create a chart for this. Clear? Everyone is clear or not? AK, Veer, Mini, Abdul, Anu.
Yes.
Okay, now let's move ahead. So now let's suppose we have a topology, something like that. Like this. Okay, just give me a second now, please. Now, let's see here. Now, let's have some interfaces such as we're gonna have interface like that. Okay, we haven't created a chart now. So just wait for a second now. Before that, we will create a chart. Okay. Yeah. So let's create a chart. Interface type and then your bandwidth, right? In Mbps. And that is our interface type. So we have interface such as how many interface can we have on a router? What are the names?
5.
Name them. Serial, Ethernet,
Fast Ethernet.
fast Ethernet, and your
Gigabyte.
gigabyte Ethernet. And the last one is your 10 gigabyte Ethernet. Okay. And their respective bandwidths in Mbps. Now we will try this. See. For serial, we have is 1.54 Mbps. Make sure it's Mbps. For Ethernet, it's 10 Mbps. For fast Ethernet, it is 100 Mbps. For gigabyte, it's 1000 Mbps. And for 10 gigabyte, it's 1 lakh Mbps. Okay, these all are in Mbps. If you want, I can write Mbps as well. In front of them. Like this. And make sure one more point. Whenever the matrix would be calculated, it always calculated for directly connected clear where the role of sending interface is none. Sending interface never to be considered. Now, just try to understand. We have some interfaces such as FA, serial, Ethernet, gigabyte, Ethernet, serial, FA, like this. Okay. Now, this is again. See, what I've written here. It always calculate the metric for directly connected. It means the metric would be calculated between R1 and R2, R2 and R3, R3 and R4, R4 and R5, like this. Clear? And separately for R5, because R5 is also a network. So let's suppose we have a network attached such as like this, which is attached here. And there is a network like this. And we have a GIG here. Like this. Clear? Is everyone okay with this or not? Tell me. And there is a network we have known as 10. Just wait for a second. Huh? Yeah. So tell me, anyone is having any doubt till here? Anu, AK, Veer, Mini, Abdul. Anybody wants to ask anything?
No,
Who is Anurag here? Anurag, are you new student here? Anurag Gupta.
Sir,
Hi Anurag, you are in the first class?
yes, sir. Today is my first class.
This is your first class.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope you are getting each and everything. Do you have any doubts still here?
No, sir.
Please feel
Currently
free to
not.
ask. Currently not? Okay, that's good. So right now we are going to calculate the metric. So how we are going to calculate the metric? That's what we have to see now. First of all, we have to calculate the metric up to router 5. Up to router 5. So what is the formula for the same? Formula for metric is reference bandwidth upon interface bandwidth. So what is the reference bandwidth? What is the reference bandwidth? Sorry. What is the reference bandwidth? Tell me, what is the reference bandwidth by default?
$100.
Very good. 100 Mbps. I think it was mini, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's
100 Mbps by default. Just see here what is written. 100 Mbps by default is your reference bandwidth. Now, move on to next. Interface bandwidth. So just see here. This metric firstly calculated up to router 5. So which is the interface receiving this? It is GIG. So now in this case, we are going to take the interface bandwidth for GIG. So what is the reference bandwidth for GIG? Is 1000 Mbps. Just write down 1000. And when you will solve, you will get the answer as 0.1. Make sure the metric will never be in decimal, and it is always round up, make sure, to 1, like this. So it will be 1. So it means my metric till here is 1. Is it fine or not? Please tell me. Is it fine to everyone or not?
Yes, good.
Okay, now let's move on to next.
Sir,
Next
if the
is-
metric, sir,
Yes,
I
sorry.
have a doubt.
Yeah, please.
So if the metric value, if it's like 1.2, or do we have to round up to 1, or
No, that's what I've written, round up. Round up means it always goes up. Look, there are 3 terminologies. One is your round, one is your round down, and one is your round up. Okay, it's just for your extra knowledge. Round is to nearest. Round down means it always take the value down, whatever the nearest number would be. Round up means it always take the value up. Always take the value up. For example, if I would say 26.97, how will you round off this number? 27?
27? 27.
Exactly. If I would say 26.97, round down, it would be 26.
26.
Exactly. And if I would say 26 point, let's suppose 12. If I say round up, then what would be the value? 20?
27.
Exactly. That's why I've used the word here as round up. See? You see?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Make sure.
Yes.
Now, let's move on to next. Okay. Let me add some slides. So now we have to calculate metric between R4 and R3. Between R4 and R5. So the formula would be reference bandwidth upon interface bandwidth. What is the reference bandwidth by default? 100 Mbps. Now, what it will be the interface bandwidth? Tell me. See here and tell me. I'm here between router 5 and router 5. What would be my reference bandwidth which I have to take into consideration? It is serial or it is FA? Which one should I use? I told you.
FA.
Sorry. Which
Yeah.
one? Which one?
FA.
This is my receiving. So this is my sending, and this is my receiving interface. Sending interface bandwidth never considers. Remember, in EIGRP we did this. Never considers. So now which one is left? It's serial. So now what is the bandwidth for serial? Bandwidth for serial is your 1.54. Just write down 1.54. Solve it. You will get 1000 upon 154. It would be something around 6470 something. 76 something. It is like that. And we have to round off this, and our answer would be 65. So it means The value would be here as 65. Clear? Anu, AK,
Yeah, yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Veer, Abdul, Anurag, Mini.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, that's cool. Now, we have to calculate metric between R3 and R4. Between R3 and R4. So now, metric reference bandwidth upon interface band. Reference bandwidth by default is 100 Mbps. And now, which interface bandwidth do I have to consider? Tell me.
Ethernet.
Say again.
Ethernet.
Anu, try to understand. See here very carefully. Okay. This one is your receiving. This one is your, sorry, this one is your sending. And this one is your receiving. Which one will you consider? Sending or receiving?
Sending.
Sending.
Sir.
Sending will be considered or receiving will be considered? Sending never considers. That's what I've written here. Sending bandwidth never considers. It means I have to use GIG. So what is the GIG is? 1000. Just write down 1000. It's 1000 now. So when you will solve, you will get answer as 0.1, which will again round it up to 1. Got it, Anu?
Yeah, yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. Now, next is between R2 and R3. Now, metric reference upon interface band. 100 upon, tell me, which one interface bandwidth to be considered?
Ethernet.
Exactly, Ethernet. Okay. Ethernet. So see. This one. What is the metric for Ethernet is?
10
10.
Mbps.
Exactly. Just write down 100 upon. You will get distance as a 10. So it means the bandwidth here is as 10. Now, between R1 and R2, the metric reference bandwidth upon interface bandwidth. So 100 upon, tell me which interface bandwidth to be considered.
Fast Ethernet.
Exactly, fast Ethernet. And what is the bandwidth for fast Ethernet is?
100 Mbps.
Exact. 100 upon 100 is 1. Clear to everyone or not? How the metric will be calculated between them. Is anybody wants to ask anything? Please tell me. AK, Veer, Abdul, Mini, Anurag, Anu.
The for me clears.
Raj, it's clear. Okay,
Yes.
what about rest? AK, Mini, Anurag,
Yes, sir. Good.
Veer, Abdul.
Yes, good for me as well.
Okay. So that's it for the day. Okay. Just go through each and everything. Okay, and if you find any doubt, any difficulties, do contact me tomorrow. Tell me and we will discuss. Okay. So for today's session is over. So bye bye everyone. Good night.
Yeah, good night, sir. Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye bye.